And thanks for joining us on the Polish American Brotherhood. It's been a while since we've live streamed, so this is our first stream of the year. Hello, Dad. How are you?
Hello, Tara. I'm pleasant to be here on Polish American Brotherhood.
So you had an exciting weekend. What were you up to?
Well, basically, last weekend I went to Disney Spring, and there was a meeting about the people who supporting Trump, you know, the redheads with America Great, Make America Great, you know, and I had a lovely talk with people.
Yeah, I saw that Never Woke was there.
Yeah, it was beautiful over there, a lot of people, and the weather, the weather was beautiful over there. So we've been lucky. And I had talked with a lot of supporters of Trump, you know, our dear president.
What did you guys talk about? I just dropped the video, so be sure to check that video out. But Dad is gonna give a quick recap of the conversations they had.
Yeah, well, the latest what Trump is doing, especially about Greenland. Okay, we know what he did in Venezuela, so we don't have to talk anything more. He did just a good job over there. But Greenland is under the question. I myself support the Greenland idea very much. Of course, I supported Trump's ideas, you know, which he has probably a lot of things coming to the America, good things, and you know, he's a great president, and I love him, and I bet you a lot of Americans support him, not only from all the love for him, but giving him all the support he needs to make America great.
What's the latest on what's going on in Greenland?
Well, one thing, a few days ago, President Trump went also to Davos in Switzerland when they've been discussing. The latest he says to the European, hey, give up the Greenland or the tax is going to go up. We're going to raise the tariffs on you guys, and February 1st going to be 10%. And if you're not going to solve the problem with Greenland with me, then of course going to go 25%. He even says it will go up to 200% as some of the countries. I wish he put that on the Germans, because the Germans mostly the problem in Europe.
Now, weren't you saying that that some of the European countries sent troops to Greenland to protect from Trump? What? I didn't catch that story. What happened?
I'm just laughing from this because the most soldiers was sent by France, which was 15, and the second was also Germans, which sent 14. They last actually 24 hours, and the German got ordered to come back. Well, altogether from European countries, they sent 25 soldiers. The less was Britain, which they sent only one soldiers over there. But you know, 35 soldiers to fight Trump's idea, I think it is laughing matter.
So they sent troops to protect Greenland from Trump's idea. Like,
Right.
are there
right.
any, I don't know, protests going on there? Like, what's the point of sending troops? Like, can't really fight an idea. Unlike Antifa, which is not an idea.
Like the Prime Minister of Denmark, she says, we're going to send the troops and we're going to shoot first before ask a question. For me, I keep laughing, you know. But one thing, what I want to mention, when Trump was then first went to Europe and complained that the European not doing fair things to United States, they've been laughing at him. Well, this time they don't laugh. Now they have not only American hero, okay, but tough man, you know. He now showing European what's the tough man mean. And he's a really tough man if it comes to the Make America Great Again. And like I says, now everybody support his idea. When I went to Winter Spring and I asked people, they says all supporting his ideas, especially with the Venezuela and Greenland.
Yeah, I saw that. Even there's footage, you guys might have seen it on Reels on social media, of like people who aren't even Trump supporters that are from Venezuela who immigrated here, and they support the actions that the Trump administration did to free Venezuela of the dictatorship.
Well, some people who actually are haters of the Republicans, okay, they will always put some kind of stuff bad about Trump, which we don't believe, you know, like CNN put a lot of bad stuff about the policy of the Trump, especially about his personality. But of course, Americans understand that, and they still support President Trump, you know, especially that he done in 1 year. None of the president done so much things like President Trump, and he gonna go to history as the greatest president.
Absolutely. That's why we started our own Polish American Brotherhood to discuss what's going on from just a layman's opinion of what's the current events, because you can't trust mainstream media, because all they do is attack like personality. They clip things out of context, and they don't really focus on the policies and the actual actions that Trump has done. So much weight is put on to his words and often clipped out of context.
Well, like J.D. Vance says, we're going to investigate who pay to the protester, you know, because they absolutely crazy. You know, where do they getting those people, you know? I don't know, because for me, even they would pay big money, I never would go to the protesters and be arrested, you know. It will go on a record for the rest of their life, you know. So if they're going to looking for a jobs or something like that, they're gonna also check, you know, the criminal record and to do crime, you know. I feel sorry for that woman who was shot, okay, but I still think that she was wrong. She was wrong, and that's why she got punished. It was very bad punishment for her. I mean, we don't like anybody get hurt, okay, but hey, ICE doing their job, okay? The order comes from the top, and all what they have to do, they getting paid for it to the right thing, and that's what they do, the right thing, you know. I basically not that much about the immigration in United States because I'm immigrant myself, but also I have to tell you that I came legally, and whoever comes to the America, and because they love America or they love the American money, they have to support, you know, come
Go
to
through the process.
law enforcement and identify themselves. You cannot just run around and we don't know who you are or something like that. If you commit a crime, you have to have fingerprints given, you know, so we know what you're doing in America.
Mm-hmm. You covered a lot of points just there, so I'm going to circle back to the Minnesota instance where the woman had lost her life when the ICE officer had shot her after she tried to hit him with the car. So, you can't use your car as a vehicle, and then so the multiple camera angles have been posted so you guys can watch it and make your own opinion from there. But it is against federal law to be blocking or impending or stopping ICE officers from doing their arrests. This was an interesting debate that we had with my older brother the other day when we were on our way to a Asian festival on the Central Florida Fairgrounds, was that it's a federal crime, so worse than being charged with any violation against the city or a state, to have a federal crime can be charged as terrorism for blocking the ICE vehicles, stopping them from doing their arrests. If you go onto the into the federal government website, it lists the laws and that are there, and they don't need to have warrants, which is something that they're saying they're arresting without warrants. They don't need a warrant. There's different laws that govern the federal agents versus local police officers and everything.
Well, one thing, the law enforcement, it is to protect us, okay? And they're not gonna go over there and beg people do the right thing, You misbehave and commit something what is illegal, even the police comes and ask you for the ID, you have to identify yourself. Otherwise, you're breaking the law if you don't identify yourself. And you think the policeman wanna just kneel and ask you or beg you for the ID? No, he gonna repeat few times, and after a few times, when you not give your identification, he have the right to pull you out of the car, and that's where the problem starts. Because if you not wanna come from the car, then it is resisting arrest and they're building up, So, guys, I'm very supportive of law enforcement. I'm not going to play hero with them, okay? And I'm going to follow the orders, what they're giving to me, because I kind of know what that means to be a bad guy, So, believe me, you better do what the law enforcement tells you to do.
Yeah, and of course, not to escalate. And then if they do something that violates your rights, you sue. This is America. Everybody sues. So even if they are violating your rights for freedom of speech, for example, Liberty Hangout with Caitlin Bennett, she was able to sue the, I believe it was Lakeland, and she won that. And she won that lawsuit because they wanted her to leave one of the markets that she does her interviews at, and it's public space, public forum. She has every right to be there. So, but back to my original point that you don't escalate situations on the ground, you handle them through the proper forums.
Yeah, well, one thing, the law enforcement have the cameras, so you cannot just say, oh, he did wrong or something like that, So the policemen are careful to not do the wrong thing, okay? And when I watch all the police story, I see a lot of people who...
Yeah, you watch quite a bit of them, Dad.
could try to play hero with the, you know. I don't know where the people are learning this from internet, that I have the rights, you know, or don't touch me. Okay, once you commit the law, you're losing your rights. You know, the police can grab you, knock you down, and all this stuff. You are gone. Okay, they don't have a mercy once you're wrong. Okay, they just follow the law, and the law it is. You giving rights if you try to do something wrong against the law.
So bottom line is be a law-abiding citizen, which includes don't cross into the U.S. illegally, and yeah, that's a crime in itself. So again, the protests that are coming out of Minnesota, which have been getting quite heated and everything since that woman's shooting. What are your thoughts on what's going on in Minnesota? Are you familiar?
Well, yeah. One thing, you know, the governor Walz, he gonna be probably prosecuted what he done. Basically, he's in charge for all that bullshit what's going on over there, you know, and a lot of people commit fraud, you know, and. Still going on the investigation, and I don't blame that they try to do that, even if you getting your citizenship and wherever you came from, you know, they can take your citizenship out and send you back where you came from after being, you know, jail for the crime you commit. You know.
Oh yeah. What are your? Sorry, Dad. Continue, and then I have a follow-up question for you. Continue what you were saying. I have a follow-up question for you.
Like you talk about Minnesota, we know that it's like mafia created over there when they try to strip the taxpayers from money by doing all kind of frauds, you know, and it is now discovered that it takes like billions of dollars from the taxpayers. So I don't know. We cannot do too fast because we have to make the right investigation and do the right judgment. But Omar should be stripped out of the citizenship and go back to Somalia. You know, after serving, of course, jail, what she done, okay? Because there are a lot of money missing from the taxpayer. And if you're a taxpayer, you know what I mean, right? Your money goes to the fraud of Minnesota people.
Yeah, it's interesting that she went from having like a negative net wealth just a couple years ago to being what her net wealth is like estimated at 35 million is what I heard. But crazy how that works, right?
I heard the latest that was about $9 billion.
Oh yeah, $9 billion with the fraud that was going on with the Somali fraud with the daycare centers and health center services that they've been providing. Good job, Nick Shirley.
So I want to ask you guys, what you think about the Minnesota frauds, okay? Because whoever watching this, you are a taxpayer, and is it okay with you to, whatever they show us, okay, whatever the investigation proof, you know, what you think? Should they be deported or keep them in jail? If they put them in jail for too long, you're still going to pay as a taxpayer for them, because I understand that keeping somebody in jail, it is like $100,000 a year, so you will be still paying, right? Now, if we deport somebody, it costs like $17,000 per person, you know. So that's a lot of money now. You know what Biden did, you know, open the border. Now we have to pay as a taxpayers.
Dad, what are your thoughts about the concept of like denaturalization? If a person an immigrant is naturalized into U.S. citizenship and then commits a crime, like should they be able to be denaturalized and lose their citizenship?
Well, one thing, even if you have a green card and you commit, like President says, and you have a green card and you commit crime, you will be still deported.
Yes, that's with a green card. But a green card, you can be a green card holder and not have citizenship. How about those who have sworn?
If you're a naturalized citizen and you commit a big fraud, I'm not saying, you know, because
naturalized citizen. So that means like you're a naturalized citizen.
If I commit a crime, I have to serve the consequences, that I will be shipped to the country where I am from, of course, Poland, you know. But the thing it is, guys, if you make all the way to the citizenship because you have a good record, also when you are a citizen already in United States, watch out for yourself, okay? Don't do stuff. Do something good for America because you coming here because America is a great country, and respect that. I respect very much America. Even I left my country when I was 20 years old, and when I came, all what I did, make sure that I'm doing the right things, and whoever hired me, they like me because I've been a good worker, so I had a good job. I appreciate that, to America. I never would have that kind of life in Poland at that time. Even now, Poland, it is like within 20 richest country. That's why in Miami, when they're going to be G20, Poland is invited also. Okay, but I feel better here. I went a few times to Poland, stay over there. I missed America. I love America. What I have here, I never would get over there. So I believe that you guys know this because when you're coming to this country, you want to stay here, do something what America wants you to do, okay? And Trump is doing the right thing, if you commit crime, even, he says, even driving with the alcohol or some kind of illegal substances in your body, you will be deported, okay? So watch yourself, okay? And it is beautiful to do the right thing. You're going to be proud of yourself if you do something for this country.
What's the quote from John F. Kennedy that used to teach me as a kid?
Say that again. Because
Remember that quote you used to teach me as a kid? From John F. Kennedy?
Oh, yeah, I think I don't remember.
Ask not what the country can do for you. Ask
yeah,
what you
I
can do for the country. I remember being like 5 years old, you teaching me reciting that all the time.
Talking about John Kennedy, I was like 14 years old when I heard my friend, my colleague came and he says, the president just was assassinated, I didn't even know who was the president, but I was so sad, And I went right away to my mother and I says, I heard that president was killed, I don't know what country was that. I was so dumb when I was 14 years old, So, but I was raised without TV, without radio in Poland, and went to school very late. I was only like 7.5 years when I went to elementary school. So even when I was already I remember 13, 14 years, I was so dumb. And first TV in my little city was actually number 6, we got the TV. And of course, there was not that much of TV, 6 inches, black and white like this. The program was so sometimes very, I don't know, we had a news 8 o'clock. I didn't even understand what they're talking about, So, the most information you're getting from TV, like today, I like to watch the YouTube, like you guys watching now, okay? And I learn everything what I like to learn, okay? Over there, you didn't have a choice. School not giving you so much information like today, the media, okay? It depends what you want to watch. But now you have a choice, what you want to watch. And that's, at an old age, I learned more in, I would say, 1 year than through all my life previously.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube University is way better than any of the college campuses I attended.
So you guys in a gold age now, and one thing what I want to say that thanks God we have a good president, so he can try to do something. But everybody should go and give him support somehow, somehow give the support by having a hat or on a shirt, I love Trump or whatever, make America great again, give him all the support, what he's doing. You know that he's not even getting paid for his job?
What do you mean?
I think that president receiving like 250,000 and he's not getting paid. I don't know where the money goes, but he's not receiving any money for his job, what he's doing.
I mean, as a businessman, he'd be also making a lot more than his salary
especially
of
as a president, there is a lot of people who, even for using his name, he making a lot of money. So, I mean, the money what he would earn as a president means nothing for him. So that's why he's not receiving. I think he gives to some kind of charity.
Yeah, he's doing it out of love for America, and I agree with a lot of the policies that are put in place. Of course, some of the things that we do see, like maybe not so much on certain things, but overall, he's a lot better than Kamala would have been, that's for sure.
I pray to God that Trump won the presidency, because I've been sweating. Before I went to sleep, I've been sweating. I had a bad dreams about devil coming, Kamala devil coming to my life,
I mean, after all, Trump did win 3 times, right?
So, when I heard that Trump won, all the bad dreams just vanish, I was so happy.
I mean, everybody else who has Trump derangement syndrome got a little stirred up and stuff.
And the Trump administration is the greatest to, Pam Bundy or Noam,
Kristi Noem, yep.
Marco Rubio is great,
Do you think Marco Rubio might go for president in the future?
In the future, yeah, he's a young guy, but I think the most chance right now has the Vice President, J.D. Vance, He's a great guy, and I really love him. Sometimes I tell it to the people because they ask me what happened if President Trump, something happened to him. I said, that's okay, if something happened, we have a J.D. Vance also, which is a great person, great politician, and people will love him like President Trump now. So
exactly.
I give him all the support I can to J.D. Vance.
Going back to what's going on in Minnesota, wow, a lot of stuff's going on in Minnesota. So we have also the anti-ICE protests that were going on over this weekend. Did you hear about Don Lemon? Dad, are you familiar with Don Lemon of CNN?
No, not really. But if it comes to Minnesota, we had also a problem with the Antifa over there when you remember they destroyed all the city, they burned the city, and I always was thinking they call themselves Antifa, okay, but they are fascists. They just change, try to make people think that they are good people, okay, that they're fighting with the fascists, but they are fascists. Whatever they've been doing, that's what Hitler was doing, And Antifa, it is the children of Hitlers. Yeah.
So going back to what was going on with Don Lemon, basically there was a anti-ICE protest that was going on at a church. They interrupted a church service. There was rumors that the pastor had been helping ICE, so protesters had come and disrupted the church service, and things had escalated to the extent that there were clashes that were there. The footage shows Don Lemon being involved there, and he's also received now threats from the DOJ that he might be facing charges as part of the protest because that protest was in violation of certain laws that we have. you can't be interrupting like church services. I mean, what if the shoe was on the other foot and people were interrupting like a Muslim service, for instance? Like that would never fly with the left. And so now the Trump administration is also threatening Don Lemon with potential charges. And though he's claiming like journalistic privileges and everything, First Amendment, we'll see if that applies. Because even as a journalist, you can't be violating the laws and you can't use journalism as an excuse. And it shows that he was part of the agitation.
Yeah. Well, one thing you have to know that a lot of outside people, maybe from the New Order, they want to keep America only to suck everything from America. You know, they don't want to keep America too strong, okay? Because that's like President Trump is coming and he tried to protect America from money flowing outside the country. You know, so you know, we bringing these immigrants, and the America is the best country, you know, that you can make a good money and keep sending money outside, you know. So I'm not blaming those people who try to help the family and stuff like that, working hard. But when you coming here and committing fraud like the Somalis been doing, you know, the money which is supposed to go for the children or some kind of welfare and something like that, they've been defrauded and sent a lot of money to Somali, you know.
Yeah, it's
So
even
that's
going through the airport. People are just carrying cash
yeah,
through the airport,
big
sent back to
luggages,
Somalia.
So that's really bad, you know. And thanks to President Trump, you know, we cannot probably he cannot stop everything, but at least minimize everything, you know. What the Somalis doing, you know. And any Somalis, I think they arrested a lot of them. They have to be deported, you know. We don't need people like that who coming and try to suck the money from the taxpayers, American taxpayers. American working very hard, you know, and they paying good taxes. And now it's not right that somebody just coming and selling drugs or defraud the government from the money and sending the money some places. If you're working hard here and you try to help little bit family in your own country, that's probably okay. That's basically
normal.
it's legal, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Something
normal.
like that. Yeah, that's normal for America because America is a rich country, okay, and but
You should not be sending that money to fund terrorism, though, which is some of the things that have been happening.
yeah, yes. Well, there is a lot of you know in Somalis organization that is against the you know America. They are terrorists, you know, and I don't know. I have no words for the Somalis. You know, America really brought them here to make better life, but what they did. But I blame also the government. You know,
For the administration, that was
all
the government
because
administration
they knew what
that
they're
let
doing,
them in
and
at the
they've been
time.
saying, when they get the information, turn the other way.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? You know, you're committing crime and the government telling you turn the other way, don't look at, you know? It's really bad.
So we are going to be hopping around from different times so Dad and I can fit in live streaming. I got a run club to get to this evening, so we're streaming earlier today so we can get the boat rolling with getting online and putting videos. You guys be sure to check out the video dropped earlier. It's Dad at Disney Springs. I was not able to join him, so he's out there solo with my quote-unquote good brother. I have one older brother and one younger brother. So my younger brother, Mark, who's been on the program before, and we'll hopefully have him back on time to time along with his little dog. We call him Patriotic Berkey, little Kodak. And so thanks, Mark, again for cam manning Dad this weekend so that way he can attend the MAG meetup that was at Disney Springs. Dad, we're coming towards the end of this stream. Can you tell us what's going on in Poland? What's new? What's new with the Polish government?
Well, one thing, in Poland we have a good president, but we have a better
Tap that microphone.
prime minister, okay? The prime minister, they want to kick him out from Poland because he's not really Polish guy. You know, anybody can find out who is he, but he's, I would say, 90% not a Polish. Okay.
What makes
So-
him not What makes him not Polish? Is he ethnically Polish or what?
Well, he born, you know, Poland, it is a lot of mixing people, right? Even if you're born in Poland, you know, like his family was Germans, and he do everything what the Germans telling him, which not sometimes good for Poland, you know. But America, it is very involved in Poland. We have 10,000 American troops in Poland right now, and they want to build another American, they're gonna call Trump's fort, okay? Trump's base in Poland, which gonna probably make another 10,000 American soldiers because, you know, like the French and I would say the government of French, Macron, and German Chancellor Merz, he wants American out from Europe, completely out. But they want American money, but they want American out. Okay, so the Poland is a very strategic country. Okay, that's why the Trump supporting. He says he loves Polish people. Okay, and he will be supporting very much. And hopefully that prime minister, we're gonna kick him out this year. Okay,
So can
because he do
you
a lot
talk
of
through a
things,
little bit of the structure of Poland? So you have a prime minister and you have a president. So you're talking about the prime minister and not the president, right?
I'm talking about prime minister, which actually is doing all the governing things, okay? And some of the stuff, what he's doing, the president have to approve. We don't have a vice president, okay? So since there is a big influence of German investment in Poland, and one thing I have to tell you, if we're talking about German, that to this time they didn't pay the damages they done during the World War II, the reparation, okay? And they kind of don't want to even talk about it, but Poland pressing, hey, first when you try to say something, do right, you do the right thing. Pay the reparation to Poland, and that is billions of dollars. The damages what the Hitler did to Poland, the Germans did to Poland. Okay, so basically we see what's going to happen in it, but Poland is very important for America now. You know, Poland, Czech, Hungary, Romania, it is very important to America.
It's funny how the all of the previously communist countries are all big supporters of the U.S.
Yes, because you know, like we have to say that the German economy was the greatest in Europe, okay, and now they're losing the grounds, mostly because of the China. A lot of products of China is coming. I don't know if you heard about BYD. The cars start showing up in Europe, you know, which Europeans like them, and more coming. A lot of Chinese products coming to Europe, and German losing the economy now, so they kind of have no choice, just do what the America tells them, you know. So hopefully, you know, they will agree that peacefully the Greenland will be transferred to America. And also I want to sending the letters to President Trump about my Mariana project, you know, which will be good for not only for Greenland but also for the America.
Absolutely. All right, Dad, we're going to go ahead and end this stream. Do you have any closing words for our audience?
Okay. Thank you, guys. If you want we talk about some kind of different subject, let us know what you want to hear, and we're gonna just talk, and we want to hear from you what you want to, you know, talk to us if we are okay what we're talking, and If you don't like us, tell us you don't like us, okay? If you don't
Nah,
like
if
Trump,
you don't
then-
like us, you don't have to watch or join in and stuff like that. Like,
Well, even if you're liberal, okay, you have right to say something, okay? I'm conservative. I'm Democrat, supporting Republicans and supporting all the Trump doing things, okay? So even if you're Democrat, make sure you're supporting Trump because he's the right president and he's the best president in the world.
and a quick shout out to Devon. Thank you for modding the channel and always being there for us. So, like I said, guys, we'll be hopping around between different times and different days while we try to nail down a schedule and everything. I've been quite busy for the last little while, so no excuses. So we're gonna squeeze it in so we can engage and interact with you guys. Dad and I will be more on the ground at different festivals and different events going on in Central Florida just to get out there and talk to the people, and I'll be dropping those videos as well. So be sure you check out the one that Dad has from this past weekend that's posted today with talking to fellow MAGA supporters over at Disney Springs. Be sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you again. Bye.
Bye, guys.